In today's video, we have the chance to sit down with the man behind
AFOL and KFOL Bricks.
And while he may be the man behind it, he certainly has plenty of help with his daughter, aka KFOL, and his wife as well. I've really loved watching their videos and watching the channel grow over time. They've done some massive train layouts. They've done them outside in the snow, across an entire pool, and also videos where they just have some fun, and I think that's great. There will be links in the description below. Make sure to subscribe, and you can also follow on Instagram. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, welcome in everybody. We are here with Flavio, the AFOL and KFOL Bricks. It's nice to have you.
Thank you. Very nice to be here. Thank you for hosting and having me here.
Right on, right on. So you guys have been uploading, Lego videos for the last 3 years. And then 5 years ago, you guys had the marble run.
That's right. The good old marble run from during the COVID lockdown. Yes.
All right, yeah. And there was some Lego in it.
There was, yeah. That was the whole point when we did the marble run. We wanted to just try to incorporate some Lego. We never really thought of incorporating that into our YouTube channel. We just did it for fun, just as a project.
Right.
And then we put it on YouTube because we wanted to share it with friends and family.
Right.
And then a couple of years later, when we started the YouTube channel, we thought, might as well leave this video in because it's got a little bit of Lego. So why not make it our humble starts?
Right. Yeah. That's something that stands out to me from that very first video all the way up to now is just the creativity and the little Easter eggs and little things in there. It just gives you a little smile all throughout the videos. So that's something I definitely appreciate. I feel like the older I get, the creativity just isn't quite there as much as it used to be. I get little bursts here and there.
Yeah.
But I guess having a KFOL around definitely helps.
It does. For that marble run, it was technically the second one we did. The first one we did many years prior to that. Mm-hmm. But for the second one, we actually designed it from the ground up. And I told her, I said, why don't you help me come up with some of the concepts of what you want this thing to look like and where do you want the marble to go? So she took a piece of paper, started drawing out the different concepts that she wanted to see. And from there, using her creativity, we then started building the whole marble run.
Nice. Yeah. How was that, like a weekend project or a day, or how long did that take to do?
That one in particular probably took a number of days. Yeah, because basically
during lockdown. So I guess you had a little time.
So we just took our time. Because we got all the paper, we cut it down to size, we did all the folds and everything and all the tape. So yeah, that one took quite a bit of time to get that all in place.
Right. I definitely enjoyed that. I went back. I've been going through and kind of watching a lot of the videos, and the 1,000 subscriber special was one I really enjoyed watching again. It was like good reminiscing through all of it and everything.
Yeah, it was funny because at the beginning we were both like super excited to get started with this, and we didn't really know where we were gonna take this. We thought, why don't we just start with, obviously, Lego, because it's something that I've been passionate about since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But because there are so many Lego channels that already exist on YouTube, we wanted to be hyper-focused in a very unique niche that kind of was big, in 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then it went a little bit sort of dormant. So we thought, hey, why don't we just kind of pick up where all of these YouTubers kind of left off and see if we can just kind of build up on that. So that was sort of the idea that got us into those. So doing that video for the 1,000 subscribers, it was pretty fun because, we were able to remember our very first setup that we did and just kind of go our evolution of our craziness always spreading through the house.
Right. Has that level, so you say you've always been a fan of Lego.
Yeah.
Has that just really ratcheted up after YouTube, or was it always kind of a lot?
No, it was never a lot. So here you can see back there my OGs, the motorcycle, the crane, and the truck, those little 3 sets sitting right there. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I really enjoyed doing when I was a kid. Then when my oldest daughter was probably around 5 or 6, I brought them out. We built them. She had a lot of fun, and then eventually put them back in boxes, and everything went away. Then when my younger daughter, KFOL, Kylie is her name, when she started to get into Lego, we got her some Lego friends. And then, of course, we got these ones. I built them. Then I pulled out all the Lego Star Wars that I had been collecting over the years, all my Lego Technic sets that I collected. But really, maybe 20, 25 sets. And that was sort of the extent of the collection. But it was really the YouTube channel that kind of sparked the insanity that you see on the channel.
I can relate 100%.
Yeah.
Because like the trains, I had one train, I think, and I think I got it when I was like maybe 16. Like it was my own money that I bought it with.
Yeah.
9-volt train, single locomotive, and one passenger car. And it's kind of how all I had for a long time. But yeah, after YouTube, it just went crazy from there.
And as you know, with YouTube, it's always about one-upping yourself. Like you do something and it's like, okay, how am I going to up this one? And then do it again, and then do it again. So it's
especially for what you guys do, like just with the big creative layouts and everything. Yeah, you gotta do it a little bit different every time and keep it fresh.
That's right. Yeah.
So I've kind of the opposite of, where you guys are kind of hyper focused. I'm like all over the place, and I've definitely see that affect the numbers on YouTube. But at the end of the day, I just upload what I want, and it's fine. I feel like over time, I don't know if it's necessarily the saturation of Lego channels or the competition. The whole internet's competing for your attention.
That's right.
And I think it's a lot easier for them to push things that are broadly appealing to people and things that are better on the financial side of things. I think YouTube does. They would have to take that into account. I would think, like, advertisers are paying this much to see this video versus others or whatever. But I kind of miss the old days a little bit. I wonder what it would be like to upload videos 10 years ago. Like, I wish I had done it. But I feel like you guys have kind of broken through. I think you've done a good job getting the videos out there for sure.
Yeah. We did. I own a digital marketing agency. So my business is the other side of YouTube, which is where we get our clients. We develop the marketing, the advertising campaigns on YouTube, on across the Google network, on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, etc. So I know that side of the business, how advertisers work, how the bidding works, how the auction system works, and all of that. So that's kind of where I started, because I told Kylie, my daughter, I said, if we do this, I like the channel to get to a point that, yes, when we monetize it, but really have it support itself, which was sort of the main goal that we had. So really understanding how that works was key, because then it allowed us to really, as we were developing the content to be focused, because we knew that, well, if we do content that is mostly for kids, which technically Lego is a toy, then we'd be stuck with advertisers that pay little to nothing to that audience. So we really tried to focus on an audience that we wanted to be like in the 25 to 40 kind of age bracket. And a lot of our content has been sort of catered around that. But the second side is, once I started going down that rabbit hole, it's just do a deep dive and really understand how the YouTube algorithms work. Because we all know that it's not just about shooting a video with your iPhone, hit upload, and off it goes, and then you're hoping to go viral. So it was really a lot of research, a lot of understanding of the mechanics, how this all works on both sides of the equation, and then being hyper focused. And that's, I think, what gave us the ability, as you mentioned, to kind of break through and really get a decent number of subscribers and views across the channel.
Yeah, for sure. I looked it up. I already forgot. Like, I was looking at the total views on the channel. I think it was pretty far up there.
I can't remember too.
I can pull it up now. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I actually, I keep sort of track on a daily, weekly kind of basis, but sort of the overall cumulative, once in a while I do look at it, but it's not our thing that we're, constantly obsessing about, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Um,
Let me see if I
yeah.
can pull it up.
Wow. Yeah, you're just shy of 24 million views across the channel.
Right. Yeah.
So you'll be 25 pretty soon here.
Hopefully, with this next batch of videos that we're working on, hopefully we'll, kind of get into that 25 mil. So
Yeah, shouldn't take you guys long.
yeah.
Out of all the videos you've done, do you have a favorite, one that stands out in your mind?
Uh,
I know it's a tough question.
it's a tough one, but yeah, I'm gonna say that it's the one that we did this last summer. 2 summers ago, we decided to take our crazy setups. First of all, for whoever's watching, a lot of people ask us if these crazy setups, if they're permanent, if we leave them in the house, and the answer is no, because we
Right.
just wouldn't be able to move around the house. So part of the fun that we like to do, and obviously for the channel, we set a time and a date when we say, okay, we're going to build this setup. We're going to have fun doing the whole design, the build. We never know what it's going to look like at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just go nuts and we build it. We leave it up for a number of weeks, have some fun with it. Obviously, it's Lego, so we, have fun with the trains. And then we do the videos, and then everything gets taken apart. All the tracks, everything gets packed away, and then everything gets put away until the next video.
I
So we
imagine
do that.
it's a good bit of storage space for all of that.
It does. Well, recently, my office here that I'm at right now, I did a renovation a few months ago where I put all my shelves on that side.
Okay.
That right now they're empty because, well, we're doing a video.
Right.
But yeah, so 2 summers ago, we decided to take the craziness sort of outside, and we did that pool video that when we did it, we had no idea how this thing was going to go. We just wanted to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And, we always like to do a little bit of pre-promotion without really being too on your face. We like to participate on the Facebook groups, on Reddit, to just kind of build a little bit of excitement. And then people can just find us and then look at the videos. But that video, we put it up thinking, hopefully it'll do well. And I told Kylie, I said, if this video does well, it was just doing a bridge that we had built for upstairs that kind of crossed on an angle, sort of a corner of the swimming pool. And I told her, I said, if this works out, I want to build a bridge across the entire pool. I don't know how this is going to work. It's not going to be cheap because, this is going to require a lot of big bricks,
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much 100% Lego pieces for the construction side of it, right?
Everything is, I am a Lego purist. So everything is 100% Lego. Yeah.
You said some of the tracks are, do you guys use like Tricks bricks or any of those?
Yeah, the tracks has been an exception. When we started doing all of this, I couldn't get enough tracks for the setups that we wanted to do. So I actually went on to
AliExpress or one of those.
Thank you. Yes. And I found tracks that were, because there's a ton of them, and I found some that were about as close to Lego as possible. So I ordered the first batch. They were not bad, for being non-Lego tracks. So then we got a whole bunch of those for those initial setups. And then that was it. So there was one investment at the beginning, and now we've been building up on everything else Lego. Gotcha. So aside from the Lego tracks, everything is 100% Lego.
And those Lego supports for that bridge, is that going all the way down to the floor of the pool?
All the way down to the floor. The pool is probably about 5 feet deep, I guess, something like that. Yeah, and they go all the way down to the bottom, and it's all self-supported.
Do you have any buoyancy issues with that? I don't remember how the supports were built.
Yeah, no, the way that I designed it is, first of all, I wanted to use the Lego Technic for the supports, the black ones. You can see them through that. And actually on Instagram, if you go on our channel, there's actually a video that shows an underground shot of the supports that actually goes all the way down to the very bottom.
Nice.
But yeah, I designed it with Lego Technic so that they're mostly hollow, as we know, so that they wouldn't hold too much air bubbles. And buoyancy of Lego Technic, they're actually not bad. Like they don't float as well as the regular Lego bricks.
Hmm.
So the weight of the supports more or less, kind of stay underwater. They do float definitely because there's still some air pockets. But it was designed in a way that the entire weight of the bridge would actually basically hold everything down into place. So the entire bridge, yeah, it's all self-supported. Everything it's just sitting there just with gravity, and that's how it's built. But yeah, going to your question about a favorite video, because that first pool video that we did was so successful, we went ahead, we built that massive bridge, and that the whole setup was by far my favorite, just because that bridge, it's just been an evolution of a series of bridges that we've done. And if you see our channel, you'll see that we started with a tiny little bridge that spans across our stairwell. And then it kind of went bigger and then bigger. So it was really a really cool project that, spanned over, I guess, a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then taking all the Lego outside and just building everything outside and just being out in the sun and in the water. It was by far my favorite video, I would say.
And how, what's the time span on that? Was that a few days, a week, a weekend?
That one, well, we actually worked really quick on that one because, there's one thing that Lego doesn't like is UV light.
Right.
So I debated whether to really take everything outside just because I don't want to damage our Lego, and many
Right.
people comment on our channel saying, hey, how can you do this to Lego? I'm like, well, it's temporary, don't worry, everything's safe. But that was the fear. So we basically pre-planned everything. Obviously, all the modular buildings, all the trains, everything was pre-built. The bridge was pre-built, so everything was pretty much set.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did is basically got everything outside, and we built everything in a span of, I like to say, 3 days, probably, the entire thing, working 8-10 hour days. So they were very, very long days.
Yeah.
Then we did all the videos, and in a number, I can't remember how many days.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a couple days to basically take everything down. So really, the time that the Lego was outside, it was a very short time. It seems like it was there for weeks, but it was a very short time. And then once everything was stored safely in our house, then I was able to, relax because
Right.
no more UV damage.
And then starts the editing process, I guess.
Starts the editing process, yeah, and just trying to piece it all together. And then the most difficult part, which is picking that darn thumbnail, because that thumbnail is the do or die of your video. Yeah.
I just I uploaded a video a little ago, like this weekend, and this is the first time I'm trying out the what's it called? The A/B test.
Right.
I actually chose 3, and I guess I'll see how that goes. I haven't done it before, but yeah, thumbnails are the bane of my existence.
They are. I have 2 videos that we've done that if anybody ever has any doubts about the importance of the thumbnail, these 2 videos confirm it. So the pool video that we did this last summer, so basically the second one, it was the POV that we wanted to focus on. We put it up. I took a whole bunch of pictures for the thumbnail. So I put a really cool thumbnail that really showed the whole bridge, showed the trains. I thought it was just super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the audience decides if it really is super cool.
Right, yeah.
And the thumbnail just bombed. The video did okay. I think, if you look at it now, it's probably at 150,000 views. Like it didn't really do well compared to other videos that we've done. And I was expecting this thing to just be, so much better. So I left it. I was kind of bummed out thinking all of that work. I mean, it was still fun, but in terms of YouTube, it just didn't perform as expected. And it's like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I guess about 2-3 months ago, just kind of going through my old files, I found a second POV video that we did that was more of a test run. That I just saved it. And I thought, you know what? but it was in reverse order. So instead of going in this direction, the train was going the opposite way. That was really the only thing that was different. So I decided to upload it, and this time I just focus on, based on everything that I know, just trying to get a thumbnail, just to get that thing to work so that people can start clicking on the video. And right now we just hit 1 million views on that video in 2.5, 3 months, I think it is. So it's crazy that a video that I had pretty much, scrapped, it was just sitting there in a hard drive, that didn't have as much attention to detail, as much thought as the first one, did so much better because of the thumbnail. So
Yeah, my my most viewed video, and it always will be, I think it's around 300K now, is what is the best Lego control system?
right, yeah, I've seen that one.
That one kind of bombed at first. It was, I think, the 4th of July weekend or something. It was probably a really dumb time to put out a video that important. And I actually did change this thumbnail maybe a week in, maybe 2 weeks. And I could see it in the chart where it diverged right at that point. And I knew, I was like, okay, all right, I did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen it that drastic before, but I always remember that video. You could just see it in the chart the day I changed the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I got to get better at this, and
Yeah,
I still haven't.
Yeah, it's amazing. The last year we only did 2 sort of crazy setups: the pool video, and then one that we did upstairs where we kind of went nuts, again with everything. And that one, I typically like to do 3 videos. One is the POV, the other one is a third-person view from above, and then if we have enough crash and derailments, we do a third one. When the one upstairs, the POV did relatively well, not as good as I would have liked to, but it still did okay. The third-person view, that does normally tend to do well because I put a lot of thought into the transitions and, always, switching things and so on. But again, it just bombed. And I thought the thumbnail, was great. I did a whole bunch of tests, nothing. I deleted the entire video, then I re-uploaded a fresh video, a few weeks later with a brand new thumbnail. It still bombed. So then I basically just deleted everything and just kept the video sitting in my computer. And then I guess it was about 9 months ago, I was just that stubborn. It's like, no, this video, I know it's a good video, like it has to do well. So I decided to basically rebuild part of the track upstairs so that I could take pictures. So I went upstairs, I built the bridge, I took the train tracks. So there was nothing else around it. It was just basically a setup to mimic the previous setup, for the video. I made a few changes that I kind of knew were going to hopefully make a difference. Uploaded the video, and right now it's probably at like 600,000 views already. And this was a video that basically was dead, like it just did nothing. So, yeah, it's yeah.
It's a lot of trial and error, sometimes some luck. YouTube can be a fickle thing.
It can, but in my agency, one of the things I always tell my clients is that we have to just let data dictate the direction where we do things. YouTube is no different. So being a data buff, because of my background, the work that I do, the one thing that I am obsessed with YouTube, with every video, is just the granular data. All of the things that matter. So obviously the thumbnail click-through rate, the 30-second percent of people that watch videos for the first 30 seconds, the percent that people actually watch the whole thing, your percent of likes versus dislikes, like all of those things, that because all of those things matter at different levels.
Right.
But
I've heard people say watch time is the most important now. Would you say, I mean, does that sound right to you, or do you have a...
I can't say that one thing is the most important. I honestly, now after doing whatever 60 videos that we have, I will say that it has to be a combination of things. Because if you have really good watch time, but your click-through rate is not good, then you're nothing. If you got a really good click-through rate and your watch time is terrible, again, nothing. So it is really understanding all the different metrics, and then making sure that you hit the numbers. So set the goals that you have, and making sure that you hit those numbers. And when you're thinking about the video that you're doing, start thinking about, okay, what did the data tell me? So as you're shooting your videos, you basically do it based on what you've learned in the data. So when you go into post and you put it all together, it's now all based on previous data. So that increases your chances of success.
Wow, I'm learning a lot here.
Yeah, like I said, I obsessed about this, before starting the channel. So, and still, it's always an ongoing, learning that we do.
Yeah, it's I look at the analytics and I kind of ponder about things, but like sometimes I'm just like, I'm just gonna upload what I'm interested in right now, and we'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
yeah, yeah. We're right now thinking like, where do we go from here? Because people ask us about that as well.
That was like
Because
one of the I had asked in Discord if people had questions. That was definitely one that came up. Is like, what's current projects? What's going? What's happening
yeah,
next?
yeah, and you're just going with what you're saying about just upload, what you like. And right now, we're at a stage that we're just not quite sure,
Hmm.
because very fortunate that the Lego channel has been successful. For our standards. Obviously, we don't do this for a living. We're not full-time YouTubers and so on.
Right.
But it's basically allowed us to have a hobby that basically supports itself,
Hmm.
which is fantastic. Um, but really, the biggest thing is that we're just not sure, because YouTube is so demanding. When I was saying that the disadvantage of our type of content is that you have to one up yourself all the time.
Hmm.
And it's now become almost impossible to one up ourselves, just because, say, we only have so much room in our house.
Right. Yeah.
So
I hit those
um,
limits pretty quick at my house.
yeah, and right now, we've done a whole bunch of videos upstairs, and right now this latest one, we're thinking, well, can't really do anything upstairs because everybody has seen the upstairs. And downstairs we have our puppy dog that, she's great, but she needs space to move around.
Right.
So this last setup, we kind of expanded as much as we could, but still leave some room, for the dog. But we're at a point that we're just not sure how we can one up any of these videos. What we do know is that eventually we want to transition into then having a permanent setup in our basement, where we have the city, the trains, everything permanently set up,
Hmm.
and possibly start transitioning to just a more sort of mainstream channel like the ones that you see out there, with people just talking about the builds, the city, and all the build techniques and those kind of things. And at that point, you can start to be more flexible about just uploading what you want,
Hmm.
and then focusing on those key videos that hopefully will just carry your channel, but just add a whole bunch of filler content, in between, with the things that you're passionate about. So
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys could do something good with something like that. The creativity and the I can't think of the word. Not honesty, but you're genuine. Like, yeah, the videos where you guys do have like voiceover. I really like some of those. Like, just
right.
get to know you guys a little bit better. And there's always a lot of laughs, and you can just tell you guys enjoy doing that kind of stuff. So if you were
We
doing
do,
more
we
like
do.
vloggy type, updating our city today, this is what we're gonna do. This was Kylie's idea. This was my idea.
Yeah,
Could do good.
I think so. And that's our goal. And, for us, it's just always about, let's just have some fun.
Right.
I don't know if you follow Preston Bills mostly on Instagram. They have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel, but it's the father and son.
Hmm.
And I just love watching them, because the dynamics they have, as a father and son, just having fun with Lego. And obviously, they've managed to build a great number of followers, with everything that they do. But you can tell that they do this for fun,
Hmm.
and that they're having a blast doing it. So that's kind of how I feel with my daughter as well.
Yeah. I follow them on Instagram at least.
Yeah.
And I like the reels they do. That's kind of something I'm thinking about doing a little bit more now, is some short form content. As long as it's something I enjoy. If I can think of some good jokes, yeah, I might try to do a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
And there's several people I follow on Instagram, and the more people I follow, and the more ones I find. I'm like, this is good. I like this because there's a lot of short form content that just does not appeal to me at all.
Yeah.
But you know, like Preston builds, Ash Potatoes, I like the things she does. There's a lot of them. I might try to dip my toe into that a little bit more coming up here soon.
Yeah. The only reason we haven't done much of that is because we're located in Canada. And here, unfortunately, we can't directly monetize Instagram or TikTok.
Mm.
So we use our Instagram. TikTok, it's a bit of a different beast that I still haven't been able to tame it. So it's there. We got lucky with a viral video that exploded, our TikTok, but I still can't really do much, with the channel. But Instagram, we do it more just to keep our viewers engaged and just create a little bit of excitement whenever we do our setups to drive some traffic from Instagram to YouTube.
Right, because I think there's a certain point where YouTube will like forget about a channel, like a channel I follow and I'm subscribed and I love their channel, and maybe they don't upload for a little while, or maybe they upload a couple I'm not too interested in. It feels like YouTube just forgets at a certain point.
It does.
But if you can break through somewhere else, like Instagram, be like, oh yeah, let me go check on their channel and see if they've uploaded anything.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely helps. When I started, I did some on TikTok, but I haven't uploaded there in probably over 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
It's just been Instagram and YouTube lately.
Yeah. Same with us.
I'm on Facebook too, but I never, very rarely do anything there either.
Yeah, TikTok for us, it's I didn't want to start a TikTok channel, but the pool video that we did 2 summers ago, this one got picked up, and Beyond the Brick reached out to us and they wanted to publish it as well. So we're like, absolutely. And then they wanted to tag us. So then we're like, well, we might as well do TikTok channel. And this thing just exploded. I started tracking all the different views that people were sharing it all across, with permission and without permission. And this thing, I think it hit like 170 million views before I lost track. We didn't monetize any of that, of course.
Yeah.
We only monetize, the little segment as 10% of that we have in our on our YouTube channel. But our TikTok channel exploded from basically, I think we had like 90 subscribers to like how many? 260,000 or some insane number that I was like, how is this even happening? But even having all that audience, every time that we've uploaded, just hardly any views. Like it's just almost like crickets. So yeah, TikTok is the one that I haven't dedicated the time to really understand the way that I've done YouTube and Instagram. So it's just for us, it's just sitting there. So maybe one day we'll pick up on that as well. We don't know.
Right. Yeah. So one question I did have, because I know you guys are probably reaching the upper limit of this with the trains. How do you control them all? And how many do you have assigned at a given time? Like, are some of the trains just kind of not connected? Or, I mean, I don't even know how many you can connect at one time.
Yeah. The majority of the trains, they all have the motor, and most of them also have the powered up hub. So we've made an investment on all of them just so that we could have pretty much everything set up. And then, yeah, we have, I don't know, 15 remotes across the board, just so that we could potentially control as many trains, as we want. Realistically, what we do is the super long trains that you've seen on the videos, they have 3 engines, 3 locomotives, and all 3 motors are connected to one remote. Now, the maximum, as you know, I think it's 5 motors that you can connect, or 5 hubs to one remote. So normally we would build a train that can hold up to 5 locomotives. So our super long cargo trains, there's a couple of videos that we've been kind of building up from like 20 cars, 30 cars, 40 cars, 50 cars, and the last one I think was 60 cars. That's pretty much the maximum that you can pull with 5 motors, 5 locomotives. Anything beyond that, you just get too much wheel spin.
Well, there's always pie bricks.
But we're Lego. Like I'm a Lego purist, So my goal is to get rid of my non-Lego train track, and then I could just fully claim that it's 100% Lego. But yeah, I
I
hear
get
what
it.
you're saying. Yeah. Um,
Because we don't know the upper limit. You can have a lead locomotive and just have followers that'll follow any commands that are sent to it.
right.
And I've never really tested it. I mean, I probably have, I don't really know, maybe 10, 15 hubs.
Oh, really?
I think something like that. So I could try it sometime. Because I've wanted to do that for a long time too. The
Right.
super long train, just get every piece of rolling stock I have. I guess the only thing that would be left out would be like the 9-volt locomotives.
Yeah.
And just I might have to do that one day.
Yeah.
Because now I've got my porch kind of cleaned off.
Right.
So I might maybe lay down a sheet or something. I want to lay something down because it's wood, and I don't want pieces falling in between the wood. Like that would be heartbreaking.
Oof, yeah, no
So if I
kidding.
can find something to put over the floor, I can set up some track out there, and it's a good bit bigger than like my living room. Like
Right.
that fills up quick.
Yeah. And then have something super long, that way. Yeah, you helped me set up the pipe bricks, or
Pybricks.
yeah, you helped me set that up for the Orient Express,
Hmm.
and it works well. I just like the simplicity of just the Lego powered up. That just press the buttons and it works. And I
Hmm.
found that even with these pipe bricks, I tried to tweak the code, and I'm not a programmer, by nature, so I haven't got it quite perfect yet. So that's why I haven't really experimented, too much with that. But to your question, like how many trains do we control? It really depends. One time I think there was a video that we did that we were crashing, what is it, 6 or 8 trains, all kind
I think
of
you've done
heavy.
8 because I think it
It
was
was 8, right?
like a cross and then you had the diagonal direction. I think it was
Yeah,
8.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's the one. It was 8. So that one we basically hooked up, and some of them had 2 locomotives. So we basically maxed out each remote with as many motors that we could, 5 each. And then with the 8 trains, there must have been probably probably 9, 10 locomotives all at the same time. So we were controlling all of that just from 2 remotes, just to try to get everything, timed at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally we'll just have separate remotes. So that's why Kylie, my daughter, she's very helpful when we're doing the videos, because I'll be controlling 2, 3, 4 remotes at the same time, fumbling with them, and she'll be doing 2 or 3 as
Hmm.
well. Sometimes, my wife also chips in and she'll do like 1 or 2. So when you see some of the videos where there's like 10 trains, all over the place all at once, they're all being controlled by basically the 3 of us with multiple remotes. So it gets a little chaotic.
So what you're saying is I need to have some kids.
You're gonna have kids, yeah, and just other assistants that can help out with all of that. Yeah.
Is there a video that you would consider your most controversial, like as far as like comments or anything?
Yes, 100%. And I think you were mentioning about the 1,000 subscriber video. I think I might have mentioned that in that video. So this one was funny because both my wife and my daughter, they were traveling, and I was sitting at home bored. I'm like, hey, I should do something different.
Hmm.
So I got, I don't know how, this crazy idea to do what I call this upside down train.
I knew that was going to be
So
the answer.
yeah, so I set up the track. I put, the paper along the railing so that you couldn't see that you're there. So try to sort of limit what people could see,
Hmm.
and then basically just flip the camera upside down, and then rebuild the trains so that the wheels were kind of on the top, so the whole thing looks like everything is all upside down.
Hmm.
And I uploaded the video and I call it the anti-gravity train. And this thing, the click-through rate went through the roof, the views went through the roof, and I mean, this thing just kind of went poof in the first few hours.
Hmm.
And I was like, holy smokes, like this thing is going to go viral. And just as it quickly peaked, it just plummeted,
Oh.
because the likes and the dislikes on the video was quite big.
Mm.
The negative comments there were quite a few of them as well. And of course, that's again all part of the algorithms that YouTube is looking at.
Right.
So even though all these metrics were great, these two key metrics, which is engagement, were awful.
Mm.
And people, yeah, talking about, like, this is crap. Like, why are you fooling us? And stuff. It's like, this was just for fun.
Right.
Lots of people legitimately thinking, asking, like, how on earth did you like fasten the train to your ceiling? Like, how do you do that? And then, you get the trolls obviously making comments like, are you stupid? Like, that's not how it is. And can you tell that's the carpet? And so the whole thing was very controversial, but at the end of the day, it was fun,
Right. It was fun to watch, and yeah, it was a thumbnail that grabbed me. I'm like, what is going on
I know
there?
you kind of like, that's something doesn't look right here.
Like a dog where you got to tilt your head and, huh?
Exactly, yeah.
Definitely a fun video and creative. Like, again, that's a strength I think you guys really have, is just the creativity.
Yeah, well, we try, that's the beautiful thing of Lego, that really your creativity is the only limitation that you have. As long as you have creativity, you can do pretty much whatever you want. So,
Right. If Lego could make any set, train or not, what would you like to see?
oof, that's a tough one because, you know, believe it or not, trains is not my number one passion on Lego. It's weird, I know, because
We're
like everything on
shattering our preconceptions
I
here.
know, because everything on the channel is about trains.
Everybody just stop watching the video. This is where the
Yeah,
metrics go.
yeah, no kidding. My number one passion is the Lego Technic sets. I love the technical aspect of the sets, and I know that many people that do Lego cities and all the things, they hate Lego Technic, and whenever they come across a Technic piece, they're like, what is this?
I had friends like that growing up. You're like, oh, the ones with all the holes in them? No, I
Yeah,
don't. I like real Lego.
and I just love them. Like you saw a little glance of some of the sets that I have up there. We have a few more of the huge ones on the floor, the big lever crane,
I can never say that
the
word.
I know, the excavator, anyway, some of the monster sets.
Mm.
So then the Star Wars. I mean, my second one is Star Wars sets, and I have the Death Star, I have the Imperial Shuttle, I have some of these big iconic sets that I love so much, and obviously now trains. But now I've gone into modular buildings. So modular buildings, the cities, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, like my mind automatically goes like when you say when you ask me one set, I'm thinking, do I want a Lego Technic set? Do I want a Star Wars set? I honestly don't know. So right now I'm gonna go with what I'm hoping will come out, just because that's sort of part of the collection that I'm building up, which is the modulars.
Mm-hmm.
With the Lego Technic, I can't honestly think of what I'd like to see, but I would probably go with the modular buildings. I want to see a Baxter building. I just saw Fantastic Four, and I'm just thinking like we obviously have the Avengers Tower, and I'm thinking how cool would it be to have the Baxter building, side by side with the Avengers. But it's got to be a big tower, just like the Avengers, big, huge, iconic building like that. So
Gotcha. Well, that's all Greek to me, but the Avengers and all that stuff. But yeah, and modulars. I haven't started that addiction yet, but it might happen one day.
it's dangerous. Like it's a slippery road.
Yeah.
I started with trains, as you've seen. Everything was all well. I shouldn't say started, like for the YouTube channel, it was all about trains. So started the channel all about trains, and then when we first started monetizing the channel and we had a little bit of cash coming in, I asked my daughter, so well, what should be the first Lego set that we buy, from the earnings from the channel?
Mm-hmm.
And she picked the Loop Coaster, the big blue and yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. So we got it. Well, of course you get one, and now we're like, well, but there's other fairground collection sets. So I went down the rabbit hole, ended up picking up the older sets, and the retired sets are impossible to come by, but we build up on that. And then, yeah, we thought, why not start with buildings? So then I went and, thought, why don't we start with just one of the newer modular buildings? So we got it and really liked it. And then after that, we thought, get a couple more. And then we started building, obviously, the ones that are available. And then let's start to go back. So it's, yeah, so we've kind of gone crazy, and we've got all the modulars with exception of the green grocer, which is my big white whale. But yeah, it's a very dangerous addiction, the modular buildings.
Do you guys build any mocks?
I like to. I just don't have the time, to be perfectly honest, because all the stuff that we do, we just do it for fun occasionally. The only mock thing that I built, I would say, would be the bridges, the setups, those kind of things. But when it comes to buildings and things like that, we haven't yet.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of our next phase of my life. Definitely want to start dedicating more time to build mocks, but yeah, not for now.
Yeah. It's one of those things I like, but I can never finish them, and I just always lose steam somewhere, and but I love things like rebrickable and finding a cool rolling stock train cars and be like, I could build a few of those, and I might modify them a little bit. I'm amazed at the stuff that people build on the internet. It's just crazy.
Yeah. We're building up slowly our inventory. So down there we have all our Lego parts collection all through here. So definitely good inventory to start building mocks.
Nice.
At some point. So that'll come, and that's what we're thinking. For the next evolution of the channel, we have all this stuff. So I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but there's definitely cities, mocks, things like that. So we'll see.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm just about out of questions here. Do you have any favorite YouTube channels? And they don't have to be Lego. Like, just what do you watch much YouTube, and what catches your eye?
I would say I spend YouTube mostly, for catching up with news and talk shows, hosts, and things like that. But in terms of entertainment, I would probably say Lego is primarily the one thing that I like. And yeah, I have a few favorite channels. I'm gonna say, and they're from very different sort of concepts of a channel. One of my favorites is Half Asleep Chris.
Okay. Yep.
This
Another
guy,
very creative channel.
Incredibly creative guy, but he's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
So as he's building all the things that he's doing, and I love that he's kind of now moved more to Lego more than he did prior to a couple of years ago. But he's a great storyteller. So watching his videos, laughing with him just to see how much fun he's having, and then obviously seeing the creations that he does at the end, that's definitely one in the top of my list. Obviously, here in Canada, Brixie, definitely a huge fan of him. I've been following him for a number of years since we started all of this, and just seeing the evolution of what he's done, to the massive warehouse studio that he's built right now. And because I just like big, crazy setups like that, obviously, Bricks is one of my favorite. But then we look at Brickcrafts, which is, I think they're in Germany. And I mean, those guys are insane with, what they've done with their mocks, and everything is basically a mock, builds for them. So those three would probably be sort of near the top of my list when it comes to Lego channels.
Yeah. And Half Asleep Chris, something else I like about him is that he makes his own music.
That's right.
Like RR Slugger, that's another one that makes his own music and allows its use on YouTube. That stuff's really cool to me. And that does bring up another question. In your house tours, your train tours through your house, I see a lot of
Yeah.
musical instruments, so I'm wondering
Yes.
who plays the musical instruments.
Well, everybody but me, they're very musical. So Kylie KFOL and my daughter and my wife,
Mhm.
they're both very musical. But for Kylie, this is really her true passion. Singing, composing, writing music, playing. I mean, that's what she does. That's really, if she could just spend all her time doing one thing, it would be music.
Hmm.
Um, so some of the instruments that you've seen, they're just all the stuff that she plays. And recently, some of the videos that we have, some of the background music that you hear on some of the train videos, they're actually written, composed, and performed, played by Kylie as well. So,
Really? Okay.
yeah.
Huh. Is that like in the description? Would it say which ones she's done?
Yeah, in
Or
the description of some of the videos, I do put in a little plug for her, for her music. And I think it was on one of the last ones. I may have even included a link to her official Instagram. So,
nice.
you know,
Very
trying
cool.
to now promote her a little bit. If we get a little bit of activity on the channel, well, might as well give her a little bit of promotion as well for her passion. So,
Right. See, I grew up. I took piano lessons for like 2 years when I was like 8, and I just hated it. I liked playing piano. I did
yeah,
not like lessons and recitals and all
right.
that stuff. So I kind of dropped it. I might have been 12. I picked up guitar and then just kind of messed around since then. Guitar and bass mostly. And then my younger brothers just far surpassed me with guitar. Like he's playing lead guitar, I'll play the bass, and we have
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's fun.
but
Well, music is great. It's just such a fantastic, thing to have with you where, it's good for the brain, it's good for creativity, it's good for emotionally. I mean, there's so many positive things about music. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm a little bit, I don't want to say jealous because I'm not, but just a little bit wishful that I could have that passion for music that my wife and my daughter have, because I just see how they enjoy it so much, and it's just not something that I have in me. So,
yeah. I mean, outside of music, would you say you have a passion that reaches you quite that way? Um,
um, well, for me, really, I would say probably Lego has now become that passion that's kind of filled that void, that I didn't have before, because yeah, I can just every time, yeah, or every chance that I have to just get a box or get a set or get some bricks and do something, I really thoroughly enjoy that, because it's I think everybody watching this, we all have built anywhere from small to big sets, and it's incredibly therapeutic. Many times with work, my brain is just working at 1,000 miles an hour because there's all the different things that I need to do, my employees and my clients and all these different things, that I have to worry about. But when I'm in front of a set and I open up the instructions and I just focus, it's just the world stops, to exist. It's pretty crazy.
yeah,
I don't even listen to music when I do sets. With my wife says, "How can you do Lego without music?" I'm like, because I'm just focused, and it's just therapeutic. Like I just don't think about anything else. So
yeah. I'm one of those people. I have to keep my mind occupied, but maybe I've never really given it a try to just build a Lego set in silence. I probably did as a kid, I guess.
yeah,
But now I've always got a TV show, a YouTube, something
right.
going on. Uh, but maybe I should try that. Just let myself get the Zen experience.
Yeah, maybe it comes with practice. I don't know, but for me, it's every time, and that's why personally I like the big sets, and that's why I like the Lego Technic sets.
Mhm.
3,000, 4,000, 5,000 pieces, because you can just spend as little or as much as you want and just forget about everything else. So
Yeah, it's so important for everyone to have hobbies and outlets like that.
absolutely,
My whole
yeah,
childhood was computers, Lego, and music, along with anything else I was into. Just- and very thankful for that. That my parents kind of encouraged those kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, because I grew up homeschooled, and they actually got me a couple of the Technic Lego Dacta sets, and that's
Right.
where I learned all those principles as before I even
Ah.
really thought about it. You know, like how a differential works and universal joints and the pneumatics
Hmm.
and all of that stuff. It was just ingrained in me from day one. And then, you know, my grandpa had a shop, and he worked on like big diesel engines for like tugboats and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
So there was like really that stuff out there in the
Yeah.
backyard because we all lived on the big same piece of property. Um, so I built a forklift out of Lego, and then I go help my grandpa ride a forklift and around the property. So like all that kind of stuff, it just really ingrained it in my mind at such a young age.
Yeah.
And I think that's why especially the Lego Dacta, just because its whole thing is focused on education, it'll be with me forever, you know, for sure.
Yeah. And now that you mentioned that, going back to one of your earlier questions, which is if Lego could build any set, what would that be? And at the time I just didn't know because really there's so much stuff that I like.
Yeah, it's a kind of broad question.
It is, yeah. But through this conversation and you talking about this, I'm actually thinking, the Lego Mindstorms. I never had it. I always wanted it. I just never got it.
Hmm.
But I always thought, what an awesome concept to actually have Lego that you can build, you can program, you can do all of these different things. And I know that there's a lot of people that they've kind of sort of taken from there and now they build their own stuff because now, the sensors are there, all the parts are there, they can just build all the stuff that they want.
Hmm.
But I would say to now make a modern version of Mindstorms. So I guess it would be Mindstorms, what, 3.0, I guess, or
Something.
whatever it is. Um, Obviously, I don't know if there's a market for that, but for me, from my perspective, I would quite enjoy that because, I see some of these giant Lego sets and what they've done with Powered Up. I mean, they've really pushed the envelope with Powered Up and the things that you can do, but there's a limit with the things that are available. Um, but to really reintroduce a lot of the new the parts that they've had success with, the color sensors, the motion sensors, all the different things. I mean, you could do such incredible builds, with that. But I know the market would be pretty tiny.
Yeah, they've pretty much at this point just kind of canceled Mindstorms.
I
They
know.
they still have the Spike Prime, I guess, for education markets. I'm assuming that's still going, and maybe they'll keep reiterating on that. But for me, the introduction, well, one was looking through Dacta catalogs at like the Dacta Control Lab. I think this interview will come out before that video, but it's all about that first Control Lab set, or really the only one, I guess. There was one other that used it, but building a control page on a control panel on your computer, being able to click the
Right.
buttons and have your graphs and all that stuff. That absolutely blew my mind as a kid. But all I could do was just look at the catalogs. That's all I
Yeah.
had. But then I think I was probably 15 or so when I got the original Mindstorms. It was Mindstorms 2.0, but the RCX, the original thing, and yeah, that opened a lot of doors for me.
I bet.
And it was just such a blast to play with that stuff.
I
And I
bet.
kind of wish they would if there was some way for them to get back to their roots there. What that
Yeah.
set was to me, I don't know if the newer Mindstorms were to other kids. It's hard to say, but I know it meant a lot to me for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's you're adding a whole different layer of creativity because it's not just about creations and things like that, but it's really about engaging the technical part of your brain to really start to think about how these things work. And that's part of the reason why I love the Lego technique, because I have a very technical mind that I love to fix things. I like to build things, how things work, and that's why the gears and the levers and the pneumatics and all these things are so cool. But adding that extra layer of technology to that, I think just fantastic, from a creativity perspective. So yeah, so that would be I think what I would like to see, next from Lego.
Well, I'm in agreement, so we'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to share before we end things off?
No. Just thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. It was great to get to know you better, like I said, in person like this. And thank you for letting me share a little bit more about my passion, our passion, for what we do, and the reason why we do it, and all these different things. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for joining. It was kind of short notice. This happened pretty quick. But I really appreciate it. And you definitely be welcome to try to do this again. Maybe we can get Kylie on as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, she would like that for sure.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the interview. I do hope to do more interview style content like this. It just depends on, who I can get in touch with to have on. And you can make suggestions in the comments or in Discord, wherever, and if you have channels I could interview. But I will say I do want them to be organic, and I want to be genuine. I want to be familiar with their body of work and all that. But it was certainly a lot of fun. So huge thanks to Flavio for taking the time to sit down with us. Huge thanks to the channel members for helping keep the lights on here. As always, join us in Discord. You can help submit questions if I do have any podcasts in the works. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.